Today, I'm going to share a secret technique that if you apply this to your life, it will never be the same. And this is because this is going to share how you could step into the conscious creator that you are and create a year ahead of joy, awe, and happiness.
This is your invitation to become the alchemist of your life. You decode your heaven on earth and go through the alchemical process. The alchemist is a master of himself so that he can master life. People thought alchemists were turning lead into gold, but they're really crystallizing their soul into form. Alchemize your golden potential. Welcome to the golden life.
Welcome to the Golden Life. My name's David Gilbert. I'm here to help you become the alchemist of your life. And today we're talking about creation. And this is really a part 2 to the last episode of creating your golden year ahead. And this is the other practice that I take people through that has a profound impact on their life. Now, why is it so profound? Because how do we typically go about life? Well, most people, and not you, hopefully by watching this podcast and choosing to live through a lens of I'm the alchemist of my own life, you're here to be a creator. You're not here to be an unconscious victim. Right? How many people are unconscious victims of their circumstance? That's really what being an alchemist is all about. You're here to say, I'm going to alchemize freedom. I'm going to alchemize abundance. I'm going to alchemize more love for my life. And it's not always as hard as we sometimes make it out to be. Actually, if you apply what I share in this podcast right now, you're going to have a year ahead of joy, awe, and love or fulfillment or whatever just brings you the most amount of joy. You will have that if you follow through with this episode and if you execute and actually take action. So what am I talking about? What am I talking about? People that are the unconscious victims of their circumstance. And this is where I just want to start. It's a continuous theme that if you're going to step into your power as a creator, well, that means sacrificing the victim mindset. Now, this is to say we're still human and there's still moments where it's going to try to creep up, right? It's just going to try to put some doubt in you or whatever else, but it's your duty to become aware of your thoughts and choose the ones that are worthy of entering your mental kingdom. And then you get to be the conscious creator because we know life is going to serve you valleys. You could even look through the frame that you are this timeless, boundless, infinite, energetic being having this human experience that literally went into physical form so that you can have obstacles and learn and grow and come back to love through those obstacles. So if that's the case, well, the obstacles are the way. So we're here to experience the valleys. But being an alchemist is you can consciously transmute valleys, lead, this idea of lead, into gold. And how do we do that? Well, since we know we're gonna be served hardship in life, it's just a fact of reality and probably what we're here to experience. But we like to make it a big deal and get caught in suffering and depression and all the natural things that we do. Well, we can counterbalance this. And how do we do that? Creating more peak experiences and not just letting them, kind of hope that they happen. No, being a conscious creator, creating a vision around what those experiences are, putting them on the calendar, creating some form of commitment or using your word, right, to say this is what I'm creating, and then following through and living those experiences. Because I want you to imagine for a second, you can even close your eyes if you want, that you planned out a rewarding, fulfilling experience at least one day every month in the next year, so that you are going to have a beautiful moment that brings you joy or fulfillment, or maybe it's a hard activity that brings you confidence. You're going to have one of those every single month for the next year. Are you going to be a little bit excited or a lot of bit excited? And it's so funny because I get caught in this trap too. We forget we have this power. Right? It's as simple as having the vision around what those things are And we're going to go through that together and then putting it on the calendar and then making it happen. So jumping into it, how can you become the conscious creator of your own life and create those peaks? And I can share my own story, right? I gained some of these tools from Jamie Wheel because it's called hedonic engineering and how you could set this up. And I went to Flow Camp. I've shared this story before, but I took that home with me and I applied the practice with a men's group. And it started with 2 guys and we invited a couple more and we met intentionally on a quarterly basis. We used one of the Hermetic principles of rhythm. And that has been one of the most rewarding things in my life. And one of the greatest of what I call bumper lanes to keep me on the path of the man I want to become. The better husband, the better father, the better leader. And it was because I consciously created an experience. And then I thought about how could I make this more rewarding? Well, do it with some of my best soul brothers that I know, and then plan some things that we love doing, as well as part of being an alchemist is that you could create peak experiences, not only ones that bring you joy and fulfillment, but you can also do it using altered states of consciousness like breath work to expand your mind for a little bit, to grab new insights, or just remember what it's like to touch, to get out of an ordinary life and touch your own divinity, right? The inherent divinity within all of us, that sometimes getting in an altered state can bring you back to that place of awe, that place of wonder, that place of just appreciation for being alive. So you have the power to create this. You have the power to create peak experiences on demand. But sometimes we get caught in the season of winter where we're just down and depressed. And then what happens? We don't put ourselves out there. We don't think about creating these things. And we get caught in our loop of depression or anxiety about the future. Well, what's one way to alleviate anxiety about the future? Create more things you're going to be excited about. I hope to gift this opportunity for you to ensure you have the best year yet by consciously creating peaks. Now, this is also really critical if you want to be somebody who's a high performer. Or that's one lens to look at it. Another lens, if you want to be somebody who's filled up with positive energy. Going back, like in the last episode, right? If the universe is energy, then we just want to get energy that energizes us and empowers us. So you can do both just by this simple practice. And I'm going to share, once again, some more appetizers. This is another practice I take clients through, and you'll be able to find a masterclass online at goldenlife.com that will actually walk you through this process. And this is so profound because it's going to put you in the position of being a creator of your life. You know that you're going to use the power of rhythm to give yourself a kick on the metaphorical flywheel of your positive energy so that you can hold a higher frequency. You can hold more positive energy. You can be that beacon of love and joy and possibility for others. So I'm going to take you through 2 exercises from this practice. And the first one, once again, the invitation is just do this right now. If you're at home or somewhere where you have a pen and paper, do this right now. If you're driving or you're busy or going for a walk, enjoying nature or something, well, just make a commitment. You're going to come back and follow through with this, because if you do, it will absolutely transform the year ahead. Did you hear that? It will absolutely transform the year ahead. Number 1, once you have your pen and paper, just go ahead and reset. If you need to ground yourself, to take a couple deep breaths in, let it go. You can do a couple more of those. And if you have a favorite grounding exercise, I've shared some in the past, right? Feeling your feet into the ground, letting Mother Earth, Pachamama, hold you and support you, or just coming back to your heart and breathing in and out of your heart. You want to get yourself full of love and groundedness so that you could expand. But why am I grounding you before this first exercise? Because this first exercise is to really, the invitation is to really put you in this place. I want to say, hey, you found out you only have 6 months to live. and I want you to spend 5 minutes and write down those things you are going to go do. Like, really let yourself go there. And fun fact, I mean, you might only have 6 months to live. We actually don't know, right? I really hope that's not the case for you. I hope you live a long, prosperous life. But the truth is, we don't fucking know. That could be a real reality, yet our brains like to think it's not. So let yourself go there. You're grounded in this moment. You're safe. Let yourself explore. If you only had 6 months to live, what are you gonna do? So get the timer on your phone or press pause here. Whatever you need to do, go ahead right now. Write those things. Go. All right, now that you're back, I want you to circle the top 3. And you can choose here, but the invitation here is to at least, of a minimum, make a commitment to do the first thing, to get that done in the year ahead. Right? And if you're feeling really good, add on the top 3. And if you're feeling like an extraordinary achiever, well, do the top 5. But that is your soul and subconscious speaking to you that these are the things that are waiting to be done, or these are the experiences you are craving to have. So give yourself permission to do that, to not hold back anymore, because you don't know when your last day, your last breath is going to be. Right? I learned this the hard way when my father died suddenly fighting fires as a pilot. You never know. We all have our experiences that we just don't know. We're going to focus on part 2. And this is planning out the activities that recharge your mind, body, and spirit. And how often do we go through life, I've been guilty of this, just unconscious about prioritizing the things that recharge our mind, body, and spirit. And a lot of us, especially in the United States, go around through life feeling stressed and overwhelmed and not having energy, and like there's this constant treadmill that we're just stuck on. Well, part of that is because we're not replacing or prioritizing these activities that we know recharge our mind, body, and soul, yet we just keep kind of unconsciously getting stuck in this pattern. But, you know, maybe that's a collective energy, and that's another discussion for another day. But you have the power to transform that. You have the power to create space to plan the peak activities that recharge you. So let's put this into practice right now. Now, when I do this with clients, I have one of those big whiteboard papers, you know, that they use in boardrooms and stuff, and I have Post-it notes. So if you have Post-it notes, go ahead and grab them. Or you can write this down, but we're going to go through another list of exercises to execute on right now. And when you are ready, it looks like this. We're going to spend 5 minutes. Get your timer ready. If you're really fancy, get one of those little sand timers. What are those called, Lucky? Get your hourglass. If you're like me and be fancy, or just use technology, whatever you want to do, it's fine. Get your hourglass, get ready, 5 minutes. I want you to brain dump as many activities that you know recharge your mind, body, and soul, or spirit, and just get them on paper. Write them on the Post-its, or get them down on paper, or type them into your Notion or computer, or whatever that looks like. Just get it out of your head onto paper. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now that we're back, look at that list that you just created. Look at, there's all the activities you know are going to make you feel joy, are going to make you feel fulfilled, are going to fill you up with positive energy. So simple, but we never think about doing this, right? Now we're going to take this to the next level. You might be like, oh my God, David, there's a next level. What? Yeah, there is. So let's do it. Now I want you to get, if you had a big piece of paper, it works best with Post-it notes. All right, so you're gonna take your piece of paper and divide it into 4 sections, like a little cross with 4 quarterly little different sections. And you're gonna write daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And then I want you to take all those practices you just listed out. Now, spend the next 5 minutes putting them. Is this a daily practice? Is this a weekly practice? Is this a monthly practice? Is this a yearly practice? And please don't just listen to me. Please take action on this and powerfully transform your life. Go. All right. Congratulations. You are so much further ahead than most people who are just living in a victim of their circumstance and the unknown of the future. But now you've stepped into being a powerful creator by creating these peak experiences that you know are going to give you more energy and metaphysically going to help you stay at a higher frequency. And that higher frequency is what's going to attract more love, more abundance, more beautiful experiences to your life automatically. So there you go. Now, the final step is to actually go put those practices on your calendar, right? The daily practices. Which ones can you commit to on a consistent basis, and which ones are for different seasons of life? Maybe there's a lot of work season, so you need more activities that kind of recharge you and give you space. Or maybe you're in a creative season, so you need more things that inspire you. What are those activities on a daily basis? And then same for the weekly basis. What are those activities that are going to get you into a flow state where you lose track of time and you get that neural feel-good cocktail that talked about in the previous masterclass on flow state, that you get that for free by getting yourself into a flow state, right? Is it playing sports or playing music or doing something like making art? Like, what is that for you? Or maybe it's having a dinner with your best friends and doing that. How can you do that on a weekly basis? And then there's the monthly. And the monthly, we're really using the power of rhythm right here, right? The monthly, you want to think about what is that day out of a month, or maybe 2 days, that you can plan to do those monthly practices. And this is where it gets really good. When you really dial in those weekly and monthly practices, this is the kick to the flywheel that's going to keep you at a whole nother level, a whole nother frequency. And then finally, yearly. Maybe the 6 months to live presented the thing that you're going to accomplish this year, that big thing. Maybe it's writing a book. Maybe it's telling a loved one, re-sparking conversation or whatever it is. Or maybe thinking about, rhythm, it's that week. What is that week of time that you're going to go do something? Maybe it's traveling to that place you've always talked about for the past 30 or 40 years and you still haven't done it. Well, guess what? This is your year to go do it. Put it on the calendar, be the alchemist, make it happen. And then as you have this on the calendar, the magic of what you are doing right now is that you don't have to think about the year ahead. You just have to focus on being present and showing up, because you've mapped out the practices on the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis for the year ahead that are going to bring you joy, fulfillment, inner peace, confidence, all the rewarding feelings, right? So this is your year. If you do this, plus what I shared in the previous episode of identifying your gold and lead and starting to transmute that lead, of creating space and then creating a thrilling vision for the year ahead, well, this is that extra layer to give you the energy to accomplish whatever that thrilling vision is. So if you master this, well, you become limitless with what you are capable of. So that's where I hope, if you put this into practice and had a great experience, I hope you reach out to me. If you need somebody to help you to really step into that vision and take it to the next level, reach out to me. And then if you're also like, David, I want to go deeper into this, or I'm just listening to this, it would be really awesome if I could just sit down with you and we can go through this whole experience together. Well, I also have a masterclass just on that, where I am your guide, I am your coach, and we're going to sit down and create this year ahead. And then all you have to do is focus your energy on being present and executing, which that to me is effortlessness, which that to me is ultimate freedom. So there you go. I truly hope you put this into practice. I truly hope you become the alchemist of your life. And I can't wait for all the gold that is on your way. Stay golden and play harder.